Sun is coming out, but I know by the anger of mosquitoes that rain may come anytime. Before I go after the potable water, here is one more thing. I discovered 2 bananas growing. This one is smaller one, this one is a little bit bigger already. So I looked up in internet how to protect it against mice, and this probably will not protect. This is special bag, I bought it from gardening shop. It's airing, it's not completely sealed, it lets air through, tiny holes, and open on both sides, so I protect it like that. Maybe it will help. I don't have money to buy special cages, and I couldn't even find in the local shops here cages against mice or protection sleeves around the plant. I have to build it myself, but even for that I don't have the necessary materials. So the only solution I have is to put the bag. Second one is ready, but by the internet I learned that as soon as they start to curl up like that, then it's the right time. Like here, when it starts to curl up, it's time to put the bag. This is too early. I don't see any other bananas right now growing, but the problem with is that I couldn't use them last years, because even when they were green and small, still the mice were snacking on them. So not to get any disease from mice, because even if they snack only one banana, we can crawl over all over the place and leave some traces of microbes or bacteria or whatever pathogens. So not to risk my health, I decided to put like that. Or I don't know, how do they do in special gardens where we grow the bananas industrially. Maybe they spray with some special chemicals, or wash with special chemicals after the cutting, so you don't get the diseases from rodents. But anyway, that's the news that I have this year too. Last 2 years I had only one batch of bananas growing at the boat. I had to cut them down because of rodents. And look how fast. I cut all these just a few months ago. I cut all these down on this level. Yeah, all on the same level almost. I cut them all for nothing. Completely down, everything, all the vegetation. And now it's how big they are really. So bananas are maybe a good way to grow your own money fast, but look, wow, I cut it down here just a few months ago. That's how fast they grow. Very beautiful. Nice. Anyway, now it's time to go after potable water. Nice view. I don't know if a ship is visible from here. I see very well, but it's right behind the support pillar of the cable car going right now. It's nice. I haven't seen this type of ship here for a while. Sailing ship. Quite big. From time to time I'm watching the rocks here to make sure nothing is falling. They shouldn't be, because they are smooth, like polished with thousands of years of water running. Some of them are more sharp, but not fresh. Like this corner here. These are fresh cuts, probably during the construction of the road here some 20-30 years ago. The rest of them are like everywhere in Madeira, nothing special. Nothing special in sense of you get used to that. Beautiful but not scary unless you are not from here. When you come first here and look all these rocks hanging above your head, it may look a bit unstable, but when you've been living here for a while and nothing has ever happened, then you just don't pay attention anymore. It's actually quite a nice place to live here, especially for my project, where my goal is to find the perfect meditation method to stay young and live as long as I wish in good health. There's no noisy neighbors around. Sometimes the cars here make noise and motorbikes, but in the night time usually it's quite quiet here. So, perfect place to meditate. Yeah, about the fridge. Let me show again. Look how much is there. Yeah, it's charging nicely. So here is all I need. It had some hole there, tiny hole, but I patched it, and it was still did the cable, and I tested it. It began working, but after a few minutes, instead of 100 watts, which is written behind the fridge, began using 500 watts, and it stopped working. So obviously something is wrong with that cooling system. So I cut off a cable and use it as a box. Previously, if you remember several videos ago, I still had the metal bar here, a frame, and this is the big tent, not tent, where did I put it? Big tarp, which I still keep in just in case, ready to pull it over. It goes up as long, in case if somewhere leak begins to appear, like here. It's not tested. Here, in sense that it's not tested with a heavy waterfall where the water seeps through the ceiling of a rock here. So this one is new one now. This one already tested with heavy waterfall and heavy dripping of water inside the cave. But these are new installations, and especially these. And here, when it drips, it may splash during dripping. So I have already tested this one. I mean, I measured it. It's nicely, it goes like that against the splashes, but so if water wouldn't splash over on my things. But I have to keep it open other times when it's no dripping to air, and I have ventilators here installed to air it. I can turn it up like that, so it dries up faster. Otherwise the humidity gonna grow their mold, and it even I can smell sometimes it, not often, but sometimes it does. Here it's gonna drip still with heavy waterfall, not with the rain, I repeat, only with the heavy waterfall which comes over the cliff from a neighbor above during the flash out of their pool there and the levada overflow. So I have to keep this one, and here I still need to build a better protection just in case if this doesn't work. It's not tested, as I said, with a big waterfall yet. Here I built some protection, and there is one spot still to find solution for. And actually, this is a good brain work. It's if I had money, I would just run around and spend money and build it properly, but with no much work required from my brain. But as long as I don't have much money and I don't have much materials, many especially which I need, then I have to think all kind of ways to do it way which otherwise I wouldn't do, but much more complex, and calculating all the angles and available possibilities to fix the leaks. Like here, these are all found pieces somebody left over from construction and throw out, and I use these. That's why it looks like it does. These are new ones, but 2 years ago I bought this, or a year ago. And anyway, long story. This is how I put my water in here. I test each bottle that doesn't leak, and as soon as it begins to leak, it happened a couple of times, I throw away the bottle and buy a new one, a milk probably. But these days the milk are now with some ring on that, couldn't remove. It's not anymore as before. I marked especially, it's different now. They don't sell anymore the cups which come off. I can break it, but you know, it's no point. So these cups are, because of that ring which keeps them on the bottle, are now a little bit narrower as well on height and begin leaking faster. Anyway, I like this place. I keep exercising my brain muscles here to fix the last leaks, which I know that there are few more places, not bigger leaks like before, because this angle corner should be safe now. This will need to be tested with a huge waterfall over very heavy rain, because it's up there, but below there I need only test with a huge waterfall next time, if the ceiling protection helps now, before being absolutely sure. So there are a few spots which I need to find solution for. It's not finished yet. But meanwhile, yeah, here I already found the shop which sells, instead of this biodegradable plastic, which goes fragile very fast. I don't know if it's visible from here, but it's all breaking apart because of the sun. Not UV resistant. So I found a shop, same shop actually, they sell also one now with UV resistant plastic. Next time I have money, next from social assistance, I already wrote down I need to buy this for this part and that part, so it will not last 1 year but several years, because UV light should not damage this another plastic, but it's much more expensive than the regular plastic, so I don't have money for that right now. And yeah, my main project is to find the perfect meditation method, which definitely works, and it will be only tested with time, watching in the mirror from time to time if I'm getting older or stay as young as I feel right now. I feel great regardless of some car accident injuries, which technically are now already repairable by the technology. Yeah, I wanted to comment on this idea to start a different topic on my videos, maybe cryptography, maybe some philosophy, but these days I'm not sure it's a good idea to waste my time on, because if I don't make any money with that, let's say, if that's a project, then it's a waste of time. But if I do make money, then somebody gonna pick my image and pick my voice and gonna create AI videos to take over my business, so to say. And this is already happening to some of the journalists which are talking how banking system really works and who benefits from wars and why the wars are created and so on. So there are some journalists who I regularly listen to, and they have already their AI copycats which talk like they do, almost the same, but the narrative in the end is not exactly as harsh as they talk in some videos. So they just take over the listeners listeners and the reporters or experts, let's say, experts on certain things. They say like that they have several AI copycats who are taking their visitors. So that's one point which I'm thinking that should I start doing. If I don't succeed with my topic, then it's waste of time. If I do succeed, then there will be a risk of AI takeover. And that's a issue which I'm thinking about it, which kind of topic, if at all, I will be posting videos. I haven't decided yet. So read my books which are available on my website, and those are published before the AI. Last books were in 2018. Old.rip. I have it on my hand truck. Old.rip is my website, and this is what I keep promoting now. Just download my books and learn from them, which I have already discussed, and there is no need to worry that it's somebody else modified by AI directly from my website. Some noises there are here, but during the daytime I can find moment to meditate in silence if I need to sometimes, but most of the time I'm already able to meditate any time, any moment a day, even the most crowdiest places, and with cars and people shouting and roaring their engines in the town. Just get used to that. Just switch off your mind. But for developing, for going, thinking deeply how to improve a meditation method, I do need some silence. So for that, the cave and nighttime here is the perfect place to do that. And that's my main project. That's what I'm not worrying about, creating new topic on video or audio or whatever. I was editing video and realized that one clip was missing. Probably I didn't pay good attention to the blinking light, so it wasn't recording. Usually in garden, for garden progress, I'm using the 10-year-old camera, security camera, which has a timestamp. That's why I don't always see if it's recording, because it's so old that screen isn't working anymore, so I'm using it to be sure when it was recorded, just on the video. Otherwise, I do have better cameras, much better cameras. Even my 10-year-old Sony semi-professional camera records better, and 10-year-old smartphones, which were back then were very expensive and good ones, they record better than this security camera. And I even have 360 Insta360 X5 if I need to have good quality, but none of those have timestamps. So when I will be recording some videos on other topics, I will probably use my better cameras for that. So the missing clip, which I didn't find, was about the huge mess I had with the rusted metal bucket. Like a week ago, at night, somewhere in midnight, I woke up and heard some dripping noise. Now it's silent, but when it's half empty, the dripping water is much more loud. So I could hear it, and I went out to see what happened, and it was empty, this bucket. Or half empty, I don't remember. Anyway, it was leaking. It probably was empty, yeah. Yeah, it was half empty because it was one part was full of sediment here. So I couldn't fix the leak. I cleaned up the sediment, and then I discovered 3 leaks. One was already last year patched with a sandbag, and now I found 3 rusted through places, which only sediment kept from emptying the bucket. I tried them fixed 10 times during whole night. I didn't sleep whole night that day, and fixed 10 times, looked if it fills, didn't fill, so I took off a new sandbags. I had 5 sandbags all around the edges where the leaks were, so I couldn't fix till the morning. No sleep, I couldn't fix it, was still leaking. It was emptying only 1/3 and didn't go any further. Then next day I bought the sleeve. This is the plastic sleeve which holds the 2 sides, it's not a bag. So I folded it nicely, put heavy rocks on top of a fold, and it still didn't fill up. It only maximum filled, like in some moments, 2/3, and it didn't go any further. So somewhere was still leaking. Either during installation I had a scratched plastic or whatever. Then the next day I had to buy another bag, sleeve. And this time I already fixed the one side, as it's like sleeve through, it's not a bag. Then I fixed it with a tape one side and folded it many times, because it's 2 meters. I bought 2 meters, much more than needed, to seal it properly at the bottom. And I put one heavy rock bigger than these ones, is still pressing it down. Now it holds finally, but I spent a couple of days, more than 24 hours, definitely went to work on it, to fix it, until I succeeded. But it's still somewhere leaking, but at least it holds enough that water rises up, and the next bucket also patched already. These are all very fragile, I cannot move it, otherwise the pipe gonna break there. And this is all like decades old, maybe half a century already here. So that story was missing, maybe something else, but in any case, I have a lot of fun here in the garden, only fixing stuff. No time yet to move on, improving. Here I found out some problem with sediment. Look, just new water in, but somehow it's too dirty, and sediment is too much sediment to wash. I have to find solution. Anyway, this I just filled up with fresh water, cleaned it, and another bucket I cleaned that, which is usually for washing hands. And all this kind of fun I'm having here, washing by hands clothes, of course, every day. And all this time, apart of going to town to eat, in social places and so on. This goes all to survive here. No time yet to begin even cleaning up this side of a garden, which you've seen on all the videos. The project I'm having, no time to build anything. This I cut yesterday from, you see nice and beautiful it is here. It's saved for 2 years on my second roof below there. So I had to remove all this stuff, and I cut one part of this away, and these I left just for structural stability. If I'm gonna remove all of them, then roof which is on top of it gonna fall and so on. So all the works here are made very carefully not to have a disaster after, not to collapse the structure. So I built it all myself, so I know how exactly it's held up, which places are structural and which places are decorative or just not structural. So I succeeded to put 2 pieces. One piece is delivering here, they're overlapping, and some places with heavy waterfall they are falling through the water there. So this now is made such a way that it tilts this way. So these 2 places that usually were dripping water and arrived through a rusted roof, also some to my stuff there on top of it. That's why everything is covered, just in case, with plastics as well there. And now it should all drop here on this plastic and run off there. This one is fixed as well, but not tested yet with the heavy rain or heavy waterfall. So that's the fun I'm having here. So no much more project with the building sheds here, but eventually one day, if not this year, then in 10 years I should be able to build something. As I said, I'm not in a hurry. My priority is my health. As I don't live in a specific place, I live inside my body, and my body is the main thing to keep in good condition, not the place where I live. My living place is only for having enough good conditions to work on my main project, on my health.